What's up, y'all, and welcome to another video. You just saw some awesome footage from the Insta360. I'm testing it out. It's my buddy Shane's. I am like 95% sure I'm gonna buy it because of that footage that I've been looking to get out of a camera. And to be quite transparent, like the GoPro just doesn't do it for me. And the reason why is because I feel like I always have to aim at the target of what I'm trying to shoot, and that distracts me from the running that I'm doing. And that can be dangerous, you know, rolling an ankle, seeing a rock that you weren't paying attention to, you didn't see. And so with the 360, I can just press record and just hold it wherever I want the angle to come from. And then it automatically can track whatever subject that you're looking to track. So that whole issue of like making sure that something is in the frame is completely eliminated. And for me, that's super valuable as a mountain runner that's trying to make some content. I am getting ready to have some breakfast here. Gonna feed Odessa, make sure that he's fed too. And for the record, I know a lot of people ask, you know, like, you're so clean with your diet, what do you feed your dog? And I'll tell you what, this stuff Ziwi is the best. So Odessa, he's a whopping 10-pound Yorkie. He eats a whole meat diet. This is chicken. Let me go ahead and read some of the ingredients here for you. You've got chicken, chicken liver, chicken bone, chicken necks, New Zealand green mussel, chicken heart, chicken cartilage, parsley, dried apple pomace, inulin, which is chicory root, or from chicory root, minerals like magnesium sulfate, zinc, amino acid complex, iron aminos. This is crazy. The fact that dogs get this amazing type of food. I'm a big sucker for dogs, so I'm totally for it. And this guy right here, he does not complain. He loves it. He gets the best food because he's the best. But it was nice. So this morning we did the Apex Trail. It was about 7.7 miles with 1,600 feet of elevation gain, which is pretty sweet. What's nice too is like on the way down, we're running down the Enchanted Forest, which is pretty sweet. So that's some of that footage. I don't know if I put it in the beginning or not, but it's like that darker footage, us going downhill. So it's essentially like a 4.5 mile climb up and then about 3 and some change on the way down. And for today's breakfast, we're gonna have some sourdough bread with some jelly, my breakfast smoothie that I always have. If you haven't seen the video that I posted in the past, I have the whole recipe. One thing I do differently now than what I did in that video is I add some eggs, some high quality eggs, Pete and Jerry's organic eggs. I always put 3 eggs into my smoothie now. Get some good B12, good minerals. I like to think of eggs as like nature's multivitamin. I mean, there's just so much good stuff inside that we should be taking on a daily basis, you know? Even if you don't like to eat like red meat or chicken, I mean, I think you should be eating at least eggs at the bare minimum. But again, that's just my opinion. So I'm gonna finish this up and we'll get ready to eat some breakfast. All right, so let's take a quick look. We just got our blood work done a few weeks ago. And as you guys know, so recently I just signed with Arsenal Health Fitness as one of my sponsors here. So I'll be working with them for the foreseeable future around my fitness, my racing, and my health. And so in part of the health piece, one of the things that they offer is like blood work. So we got that done. We did a full panel. So I wanted to go over my results of like what I got here, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about how this is impacting some of the supplements that I'm taking to ensure that I'm optimized as much as possible as I do all these different types of races. So going through the numbers here, some of the things that I look at first. One of the things I noticed right off the bat is that my total cholesterol is a little bit high. So I was at 212 and the range wants to be between 100 and 199. So that was a little bit higher there, but nothing too concerning, which is 13 points above. Oh, and one of the things that I noticed too when going through this, at the end of the results, I don't know if you can see this here. So they put like little markers here. So it says like this little arrow here will say, let's see if we get that to focus. This arrow will say if it's just out of range. And then this is like when it's like something you need to be concerned about. It's like this black square. So I didn't have any black squares, but I did have some arrows that were going up or down, whether things were high or low. So the first thing that was high was the total cholesterol, 212. I was 13 points above where you want to be between 100 and 199. My LDL was actually high. This is actually, from my understanding, your good cholesterol. I was at 146, and the range you want to be in is within 0 to 99. So something to look at. So that's on page 1 here. Let's look at page 2. Some of the other things that I looked at here. So what's nice about this panel is that it also tested my testosterone, which is really great. So one of the concerns that I had as an endurance athlete is that when you do chronic cardio, that can impact your testosterone. It actually ends up lowering, but if you compound that with heavy strength training like I do with my hybrid training, it helps keep those testosterone numbers up. So I was really happy to see that my testosterone was at 643, and the ranges you want to be in is between 264, below that would be below average, and then a high would be like 916. So I was at 643, which is great. And then the second number that I looked at here was free testosterone. So I was at 10.3, and the range that you want to be at is between 8.7 and 25.1. So let me see if I can pull that up here on the testosterone piece. 643 and 10.3, which is nice. So free testosterone and testosterone right there, which is really great to see. One thing that I was low in was DHEA sulfate. So I was at 93.4, and the range that you want to be in is between 102 and 416. So I was just out of the range here, and we'll talk about supplements here in a second. Another thing that I was high in was my hemoglobin AC1. So I was at 5.7, and you typically want to be below 5.7. The ranges are below 5.7 is decreased risk of diabetes, and then at 5.7, so right at that marker till 6.4, is an increased risk of diabetes. So that's actually something that I need to think about, given that I have family members that have diabetes. But what's nice is that I want to do consistent blood work. I'm looking at every 3 to 6 months that I'm going to be doing this blood work, and I want to keep an eye on this one. So if it stays right at 5.7 and goes a little bit lower, I'm not going to worry about anything. But if I see a trend where it's slowly going up over time, then it's going to be something where I need to really be thinking about, since I'm right at that border. Another thing that I was high in was vitamin B12. So I think that might be because I eat 3 eggs a day, but I'm not really too concerned about that. My number was at 1253, and the range that you want to be in is between 232 and 1245, and I'm at 1253. So like, that's a huge range, and I'm literally just right above it. So I'm not really too concerned about that. All right, so we're moving on to page number 3. Everything looks good here. Vitamin D looks good, which is awesome to see. 53.7, and the range you want to be in is between 30 and 100. So that's awesome to see. Zinc is in a really good place. My numbers were at 1197, and you want to be between 876 and 1660. Histamine good. Cortisol was good, which that was something that I was concerned about going into this test, given I'm training 15 hours a week. I also have my day job, and then I'm also working on stuff for the app to grow that business. And so I thought with all the stress that my cortisol levels would have been really high, and my numbers came back, and I was at a 15.5, and the ranges that you want to be in is between 6.2 and 19.4. So I was still within that range, getting a little bit closer to the top end of the range, but that's nothing that I'm going to be concerned about. And then for the final page here, it looks like my insulin was a little bit low. I was at 2.2, and the ranges that you want to be in is between 2.6 and 24.9. So something to think about there. My magnesium levels were still within range. I was at 4.8, and the range you want to be in is between 4.2 and 6.8. So overall, I was really happy with these results. Nothing alarming. I mean, there were some things that were out of range, but with the icons that they put on the results, you know, there's the arrows that say things are out of range, and then like the red square if something is critical or alert. I didn't have anything that was critical or alert that I should be worried about. If there's something that I'm really happy about, it's really the testosterone piece, given how much I'm running and doing endurance sports. I think what's really saving me here is all of the strength training that I'm adding to my programming. So right now I'm doing full body strength training sessions 3 times a week. They're typically between 90 to 105 minutes, so an hour and a half to an hour 45 minutes each session, so a little bit longer, but I think it's really helping me out given all the running that I'm doing. So let's talk a little bit about supplements. I want to show you guys a little bit around what I'm taking on a daily basis, just to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to stay healthy with all the strain that I'm putting on my body here. Just right off the bat here, I'll start off with the multivitamin. So right now I'm taking BPN's multivitamin. It's just something really simple. I really just look at this as an insurance policy to make sure that I'm getting all of the micronutrients that I need to be getting. Another thing here, got DHEA. So if you saw in the results back there that it was a little bit low, so I'm taking one of these on a daily basis. And then for immune support, I'm taking Thorne's Moducares and also Mito PQQ. So these things really help me out from an immune support perspective. So when you're putting all this strain on your body, whether it's like a ton of running, strength training, we're doing rock climbing, but I'm also working at the same time, it's a lot of strain on the body. And that's why I was concerned about the cortisol levels, is that when you're constantly on the go and you're not maybe fueling the way you should be refueling, you run the risk of getting sick. And you know those people that are always getting sick, they're always stressed out and stuff like that. I'm lucky enough to not be experiencing that. And I think my food habits have a ton to do with that. Another one that I take is BPN's Strong Joints. So I really take this. This is another precautionary, given all of the running that I'm doing with like my, you know, for my ankles and my knees, some omega-3s here, making sure that I'm getting that. And I really take these because I don't eat a lot of fish. I do eat a lot of red meat, and I want to make sure that I'm getting those omegas. And then last but not least, I take my allergy medicine. As some of you guys know, I get terrible seasonal allergies to the point where my nose gets super congested and then I can't breathe. So I just take the Walgreens brand. It's an antihistamine. I think it's the same thing as like a Zyrtec, but just the Walgreens brand. If you have any questions around like the blood work or the testing that I did with Arsenal, I think it was a really good holistic view around like what's going on in my body, what are the things that I'm deficient in, and making sure that I'm taking all of the right steps to ensure that my body is in the right state. Also, if you're interested in some of the supplements that I do take, I do have a link in the description for my gear page. It just takes you to my website. It shows all the different vitamins that I take if you want to get a quick list of those. We got some work to do here. I got to write some scripts here for the app. We're going to get some new videos around some of the programs. There's a welcome video, stuff that I'm working on here that I need to get up before Christmas time. So we'll get some work done and then we'll get ready for the strength training session.
You on my mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You like my oxygen, make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in, from the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up, break you in then break you out. In the end we gon' make a child, then we gon' hit the show. Part 2 we don't need no pause. You with Misty, we gon' get tipsy, don't need a power shot.
Copy my steel, face the fact that ain't no cap, I'm real. Ain't no cap, I'm real. The plastic bars from a copy my steel. Copy my steel, face the fact that ain't no cap, I'm real. Ain't no cap, I'm real. The plastic bars from a copy my steel.
Got my heart no in the bed. Break you in then. Yeah, this every day. Got my heart no in the bed. Break you in then. Yeah, this every day. This sound like Argentina. Had to fist my demand.
All right, so we are back home. We just took a shower, getting ready for bed and everything. Actually, not yet, still a little too early for bed. But getting ready for the nighttime routine. It's about 7:40 right now, so it's still a little early. I don't think I'm gonna go to bed till like 9:30 today, as I feel like I got a good amount of like creativity going on in my mind right now. So I'm like ready to get some work done, like some fun work, which is nice. Oh, for the record, for nighttime stuff, I switched over to the stuff called Calm. It's pretty good. You can get this at Whole Foods. What does that say? Natural Vitality Calm Magnesium Supplement, raspberry lemon flavor. So I've been drinking this for, I want to say like, I don't know, a couple months now. It's been a while. And I've really been digging it. It's easy to drink, it tastes good, and it definitely calms me down towards the end of the day, just around like decompressing the mind. And honestly, I think some of you guys know, like I used to smoke weed like quite a bit, like when I was back in my other relationship or my past relationship. Like smoking weed kind of just became like a habit, not the best habit for me personally. And now that, you know, my life has changed a little bit, I cut it out, and like, man, I just like fall asleep so fast now. I literally get to the end of the day, and I'm sure this has something to do with it, this magnesium drink. And it might be a little placebo, but since cutting weed out of my life, my sleep has just been like astronomical. It's been so good. I fall asleep right away and I stay asleep most of the time. The only times that I realize that I don't fall asleep right away are when I notice I don't drink all the water I should be drinking. And typically, I try to get about a gallon a day, just because of how much I'm training you with the conditioning in the morning and then strength training in the afternoon. So with the gallon, usually I feel pretty good. But for now, what I'm gonna do right now is really focus on getting some content done, maybe do like 45 minutes worth of creative work here, just because I'm feeling pretty good. and then just go to bed. But that pretty much like sums up my day. I mean, it really just waking up super early, getting a good run in. We got some really cool footage with the Insta360, which was sick. Got a good strength training session. We talked about the test results. I didn't really care to show too much of like the corporate work stuff just because people don't really care to watch any of that. It's all pretty much the same thing, answering emails, talking to clients on the phone and stuff like that. So I had to fix the mic here. Hopefully that still came in clear. So that is a day in the life. I appreciate y'all watching. We are roughly about 2 weeks out from the Spartan World Championship in Abu Dhabi. So that is gonna be the next vlog that I do, or day in the life video that I do. It's gonna be super sick. I'm feeling really great physically, and I can't wait to share the experience with you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.